Florida Governor Ron DeSantis blasted President Biden over his student loan forgiveness announcement on Thursday. Biden on Wednesday announced his wide-scale student loan forgiveness plan, including canceling up to $20,000 of debt per borrower and an extension of the payment pause. DeSantis questioned the constitutionality of Biden's action, saying, quote, "To just say you're dumping this debt on the taxpayers, that is not something that's consistent with the rule of law."
In the back? Yes. Right, because I mean, these are basically contractual obligations that people entered into, and could the Congress pass a law to divert that to the taxpayer? They probably would have the constitutional duty to do it. I'm not saying that's a good idea, but for having an executive act through fiat with no legislative sanction and to just say you're dumping this debt on the taxpayers, that is not something that is consistent with the rule of law. And in fact, I think it's an unprecedented use of executive authority. And it's important for people to find out because, people will say, "Oh, DeSantis is doing all this stuff," because when you do things they don't like, they squeal about it. But if you look at what we've done with the legislature, we're getting bills passed through the legislature, and I'm signing them into law. That's how a constitutional system works. If you look at what we did. If you look at what we have done to police state attorneys in this state to make sure that they are enforcing the law as written and they're not picking and choosing which laws to enforce and which laws to ignore. When we took action in Tampa to suspend that state attorney, we were acting pursuant to Article 4, Section 7 of the Florida Constitution, which says those county elected officials, because they're not subjected to impeachment on the way our system is designed in Florida, the governor has the authority and indeed the duty to suspend them if they've engaged in misfeasance, malfeasance, neglect of duty, incompetence, drunkenness. They list it out. And so we've exercised that authority when called upon, like removing the sheriff of Broward County when he bungled the response to the Parkland. We did it with the supervisor of elections in Palm Beach County after she bungled the 2018 recount. We did it for the superintendent of schools up in Okaloosa. We've done it recently in other cases. And so that's just acting pursuant to our constitutional process. But for me to just go out and say, I'm forgiving this loan or you don't have to do that, that's just not the way the rule of law operates. That's not the way a constitutional system operates. What will happen is it will get challenged in court, likely will get upheld. There may be an argument that they know that this is a weak ground. They've got a lot, they have a lot of people that are supporters that have these advanced degrees and they're asking for the relief. And so it's maybe a way to placate that segment of their base, knowing, though, that it's going to get stopped in court and then maybe the inflationary hit won't end up materializing if it doesn't go into effect. I don't know, but I've heard people say that. But clearly, I don't think anyone would look at this and say that the legal grounds are strong.